Can't sleep, baby? There, baby. Try. Let's try sleeping with the light on. I know we don't like to. Without meaning to. Brings out the shadows, doesn't it? I suppose you want a story. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a little girl, and she was skipping on a dusty path which winded through the woods. The girl was very brave, and she was very ambitious. She had a red dress on. No, was it green? Yeah, that feels better. She had a green dress on. She wanted to explore. She'd not been in these woods before. She wanted to look at the moss, find 10 different types of leaves, meet butterflies, fairies, and climb in the trees. Sleeping with the light on? Because, well, we tell ourselves we don't really need to, but really, you just dim it. You still leave room for that comfort. Maybe it's all about comfort. I don't know if that's what you're going for. Maybe it is. Maybe you're just looking for that comfort. But how does she... if everything doesn't feel safe, then is everything a threat?
Where are you?
And if everything is perceived as a threat, then how does she behave?
Is everything okay?
How does she... not just an immediate danger, a threat. Maybe she's learnt about windows and locking doors and checking. Sorry, baby, I drifted. So yeah, she was exploring, and it had been quite a long time. She noticed that the shadows were getting a little bigger and looked a little darker. She tried to retrace her steps, thinking it had been such a long time, when suddenly she became quite disorientated. She knew she was lost. She knew she was lost because she didn't recognise her path anymore.
Do you want a drink?
You know, a long, long time ago, there was a perfect place. A perfect place with rolling hills, willowing trees, soft grass, and heather tickling at the knees. I'll always miss that place and what it could have been. But there'll always be that sense of, oh, I've retreated. Back to a comfort, back to why I'm here. But there'll always be a sense of that, feeling a change again. I feel like I want a change.
Baby, beautiful, precious, angel, darling.
She was lost, hopelessly lost. The woods that had once been so exciting and inviting had become an impossible maze. She scurried and searched, frantically clambering through the undergrowth, hoping to find a way out, when suddenly she came upon an assembly of birds. There were crows and cuckoos, blackbirds, herons, robins and jays, and a big wise owl addressing the flock. There amongst the leaves, the lost girl found a mysterious green court, and they were trialling a trickster. What if I stayed and kept quiet and worked really, really hard and showed him I could do it and do it better and prove that I could do what I was told was unrealistic?
I've made you some tea.
I can do what I was told I cannot do. What if you can do that too? Would it change the situation? Would it go back to the way things were? There were good times, baby. The woods, the pumpkins, the bath, blissed out in the bubble with orange leaves, no curtain, cool sounds, cold water, crisp sandwiches, salt on the floor, friends at the door.
I've put some sugar in. I thought it might help.
Not saying a word. Not saying a word. But being completely and utterly there. Shh. Everything. How could it be that she was tricked? Lured and muddled, confused and befuddled. She was under the impression she was exploring of her own volition and whim. Thus was the mess of the woods. Tangled branches, twigs snapping from each and every angle, howls and hoots and tweets and growls, snarling from the shadows.
What do you think? I'm trying. I'm just not sure if I'm doing it right.
I feel an overwhelming sense of dread. It's hard to accept that it's work when I don't feel that sense of dread. It's hard to accept that it's love when I don't feel that sense of dread. When I'm not being told what to do. When I'm not hating every second. When I'm not trapped. Stuck. When I'm in control. I'm out of control.
Baby. Sweetie. Honey. Gorgeous. Love.
Tears. Oh, don't think of it, baby. The squealing, shaking of a piglet fitting and dying in pain in its own filth. Tears. Shock. Anger again. Quickly, calm, quick. A sunset. Sorry, baby. I drifted again. So the lost girl watched as the trickster was sentenced for playing too many cruel games in the woods. Shh, baby. Yeah. So she greeted the birds and found of a spell. And the wise owl said to her, "With determination, focus and drive, you're bound to escape the woods alive." So she worked with the birds and learnt she needed to rise above it. Rise above it, baby. Birds have wings to raise you up, and you'll find your way out. So long as you want it. And that's always the story, baby.
Is it okay? I really am just trying to help.
Into the end. Standing on the edge. Staring into the future at the muted place. Looking up. Out. No life. No light. No sound. But everything. Limitless. Formless and abundant in spirit. This time is pregnant. Finally grateful for life. Finally streaming tears of joy. This world is a beautiful place. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, baby. So the lost girl found her way out. Of course she did. She worked with the birds, as she always would and always will. No one said anything about it being easy, baby. But she finds peace. She finds peace. And that's a good thing, baby.
I never know what's going on with you.
I'll tell you, baby. You'll do whatever you need to do. I love you, baby. There, baby. Just make sure to look that monster in the eye. Sweet dreams.